Well, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folani, and it's one day less. We're closer to the election by one day, which is, as you know, on the 25th. All eyes are on the 25th. And, well, my guest this morning is Mr. Jiti Ogunye. He's an author, essayist, public interest lawyer. I would have put lawyer first. That's where we know the man of the law. But any of those things, you are all of them. And I'm sure you're not particular about the order. A fine morning to you, Jiti. Thank you very much.
Thanks for inviting me.
Indeed.
Good morning, Nigerians. Yeah.
So, as you know, the one thing that has not escaped the attention of anybody, whether you didn't care about, there are those who don't care about politics, whether you didn't care, whether you do care intensely, is the Naira redesign and its fallouts and the hardship it has brought on many. Mr. President has spoken. He actually was speaking from outside of the country, where he has said that, look, I'm not unaware of the sufferings, and that people should be patient, and that we'll do some things. That's to one side. The Supreme Court, and I know this is right down your territory because you have an opinion on that, the Supreme Court injunction, to most of us unlearned people, seemed to be saying, hold on a while. Between the president and central bank, they didn't hold on. Give me your commentary, please.
Well, a lot has been said about the Naira swap now being famously tagged Naira confiscation.
Yes, somebody has said that.
Exercise embarked upon by the federal government of Nigeria. And a lot more will still be said. My take up front is that the policy at the time of introducing it was unnecessary. I won't quibble, I won't prevaricate. I've seen a lot of people drawn a line. Oh, it's good policy, it's something that we should be doing, but the timing. I'm not going to make any such division. All I just want to say, and this on record, is that that policy is wrong-headed, both in timing and not in timing alone now, but also in its conception and its shambolic implementation. We have to take the two together. Nobody is doubting that the CBN has powers under the CBN Act. And I'm referencing Section 17, which says that it's the sole authority to print and mint Naira and coins, not the federal government, not the state government, not any local government. And Section 18, which says that it's a make arrangement for the printing of new notes. And Section 19, which says that it has to get the approval of Mr. President. And Section 20, which says that once old notes are being withdrawn, every old note that is submitted or surrendered must be redeemed. Meaning that as the CBN was taking those new notes, the equivalent amount should be given to those who have those, which the CBN has breached, a provision which the CBN and the federal government has breached. So nobody is arguing about that. But the point is that it's now very obvious, clear to the blind, audible enough to the deaf, that the program or project or policy was not well thought through. It lacked the capacity to print immediately an equivalent sum of the amount that's being withdrawn from circulation. And obviously, they lacked the strategy to implement the project, given the way it's gone. And then the timing of it, which has brought untold hardship on the masses of our people. In default, the CBN and some supporters of this policy keep saying that, oh, it's good, we have to go to cashless policy. The CBN didn't tell us at the outset that they were using this as cashless policy. They've been flip-flopping cashless policy. Oh, we want to fight illicit election financing. Oh, we want to fight those who are hoarding money. Oh, we want to embrace what is modern and all that. They've not given us any coherent reason why they had to embark on this policy 6, 7, 8 months to the end of the tenure of this administration. So if the president had to approve, and he was the one who approved, this president has not satisfied Nigerians on why he didn't do it from day one. We know that this president is slow. He was even slow to constitute a cabinet. It took him 6 months. We know. But he's not told us why he didn't do it year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6, year 7. And then the 8th year, he's trying to rush this through, and the president is advising Nigerians. Be patient.
Be patient.
Tolerate the pain and all that. And I'm asking, who is going to indemnify those who are being inflicted with pain now? Who is going to compensate the banks whose property have been lost, right? Insurance, right? Who is going to even remedy a situation whereby I saw the Yarekwa way axis the other time, on Friday, the newly constructed road, the newly tarred roads.
Yes.
Where people had bonfires.
That's right.
Thereby melting the tar.
That's right.
And I was just wondering, why do you inflict this pain on the citizen and even on yourself as a government? I can't understand it.
Well, I don't know if they didn't think, because you see, Jiti, people, captains of industry, heads of organizations, in this case, the head of the country, usually you will have a feasibility study telling you what it is going to be like, this project that we're thinking about. And as you just said, between the federal government and the CBN, they have demonstrated a lack of capacity to execute this thing properly. But they still went ahead. The president is on record as saying that he wants a free, fair, credible election to be his legacy. And people were quoting him for a long time, there's no going back. Well, I don't know. In the latest round of crisis now, he has said that we are going to be exploring all sorts of ways to ameliorate this situation. But as you said, I find it personally a bit difficult to understand how they didn't see all of this up front. All this chaos, all this crisis, all this damage, all this destruction as a result of a policy between CBN and the federal government. I can't understand how they will say that they didn't, because these are strategists. You don't get to where you're being without being a strategist. But for what it is worth, Ashwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I was reading someplace, had spoken about it and had said that, let it be known, I am not against this whole currency swap change. Maybe he himself was speaking politically, was being politically correct. He was being politically correct. He said,
I'm opposed to it.
Yes.
I Jiti Ogunye, because it doesn't make any sense to me at this point. Even from a monetary policy standpoint, do you know how much it will cost a country that is perpetually borrowing money? Perpetually borrowing money to pay salaries, to do all sorts of stuff, to even print this currency. Do you know how much it will take Nigeria? And the cost has not been disclosed to print this currency. Oh, because the CBN is trying to operate like a country, like a sovereign on its own,
yeah.
So it doesn't go to the National Assembly to get budget approved. Who approved the money that is going to spend on this exercise at this crucial time?
And now, after the event, when there's a crisis, you're inviting or convening the Council of State. What should have been done before?